Hi, I'm Keith, and welcome to my art studio, where today I will be going over my biomechanical dragon dinosaur monster. It's pencil, it's ink, ink wash, and acrylic, and I go over it one step at a time. It's kind of a lengthy video, but this picture is awesome, so stay tuned. The first thing I want to say about this tutorial demonstration is that it's AI free. I have nothing to do with AI. I'm a human being. I use my hands. I use my brain. I use the skill and talent that I've accumulated over the years to make this. I am not a fan of AI, and we're starting off here with the actual pencil drawing, the outlines. If you're a longtime viewer of my channel, you know this is how I start things off. My intention with this picture was to take my last picture, which was an Allosaurus, and change it up and make it a little bit different. This time I wanted to have the mouth closed. If you want to see the mouth open version, you can just go back to my channel and go back one. The theme of this picture is a monster. Of course, all my pictures are monsters. Most of them are. And I wanted to do a biomechanical monster. Now, I've done some biomechanical stuff in the past, and I'll put a few of those up here so you can see. But biomechanical just basically means that this monster has machine parts. And that's always a fun way to do this. My artwork is all about imagination. Imagination. I'm not the kind of guy who's going to put up some pots and pans and flowers and do a still life. I'm just not, because I wouldn't find that interesting enough to do. If you're into fine, I think this is fine art. Personally, I think it's fine art. But if you think fine art is landscapes and flower pots, then that's not what we're doing here. What I'm doing here is I'm using my imagination. I love dinosaurs, I love dragons, I love monsters, and this page is chock full of them. And if you want to learn how to do this kind of stuff, how to draw, how to use ink wash, how to use acrylics, you know, but you can't get past the fact that I have fangs in all my pictures, well, I don't know what to tell you. But if you want to learn something, I would suggest going back through my stuff. I've been an artist for all of my life. I went to university, art school. I was going to be an art teacher. I'm well versed in how this stuff works. And this particular picture was very fun to do. I had a great time doing it. A lot of times I will overdo my pictures. And the last one I did, I stopped at the ink wash level. This one, I decided to see if I could, go on and not overdo it. And I don't know. You have to judge for yourself if I overdid it. One thing I did, which I found kind of interesting, was I learned that to make skin tones, you can take the primary colors of yellow, blue, and red and mix them together, and it'll give you a good skin tone. And I did that, and I really liked what I got. It kind of came off of a tone more like someone with a dark complexion or a suntan, but it kind of had a gold luster to it, and I really like the gold look I got, and you'll see that coming up here pretty quick. Right now I'm just putting my ink washes in, and if you know anything about my work, I do tons and tons and tons of ink washes. I praise it constantly, because when you do ink washes first, you get your values down correctly. Instead of trying to do it when you mix your paint, you've already had that step's done. So I have a process. I draw it, and then I put it in my contour lines and all my little hash marks. And then I go with my ink washes. And this one here, it's biomechanical. That was supposed to be like a tube coming out of his throat. Then I thought, that'd be kind of bad if you were a real life being and somebody could grab that tube. So I kind of made an alteration to it later on. You'll see that. So I'm putting in a lot of my darks. Your values of your darks and your lights. My ink washes usually run from 40% gray to 80% gray. I usually run 2 tones at a time, except for on that eye socket. I made it pretty much black because I wanted that thing to stand out. This picture, I worked on the eye a lot, because the last one I did, I thought the eye looked a little goofy, and you can go back and find that video. But this eye, I wanted to look really menacing, so I worked on it to make sure it looked the way I wanted it to look, and I was really happy with the way it looked. And I eventually put a little bit of an eyelid on this thing coming up. So I'm adding more and more of my ink washes. I'm putting in some background. I needed to balance out that image, so I put some stuff to the left side. I mean, when you're doing this kind of stuff, you have to give your being, or this dragon, some room to look into. So you have to keep him to the right a little bit,
but I felt that it was almost too far to the right, so I threw some stuff up in the left-hand corner. I don't know if that's tree trunks or if it's leaves or birds, but it's something to balance out the picture. Now here I have this little marker pen I bought, and it has like a little it's like a little brush on it. It's kind of cool, and I'm able to do some really intense line work with it. With a brush, you have to dip it constantly to get paint on it. But since it's in a pen form, it's already got the ink in it, so it was really convenient. I like it a lot, and I'll probably get more of them in the future. So right now I'm adding some highlights. Highlights make your picture explode. The highlights is what makes your picture worth money. I mean, this picture was worth like 50 cents until I started putting the highlights in. Now it's worth like $50. So, and I do a lot more highlights. I haven't even got to the point yet where I put the color in yet. So I'm putting in some, those little dots are like skin blemishes. I don't know, lizards have all kinds of little things. And they're not like acne, but they're like whatever lizards have, this guy has, because he's basically a lizard. He's based off an Allosaurus, a picture I found online. But one thing I enjoy doing is adding texture to my pictures. Texture. Somebody actually told me one time that they felt that when they look at my pictures, they can almost feel them with their eyes because the amount of texture I put in them. But that's the fun part. I mean, that's the fun part of making art to me. I've done a lot of cartooning in my life, a lot of caricature art and whatnot, but I really enjoy this. I enjoy the ink washes. I enjoy the drawing. And I enjoy my monster paintings. So right now I am putting in my color. This is where I mixed up the primaries. And I got this kind of a golden luster look to it, and I really liked it because it looks almost like sepia tone, and I thought that was really effective. So with the gold tint, I started using a lot of yellow for highlights. And I thought the yellow added to it too. Normally, yellow is a color I shy away from. With this picture, with the sepia tone look, I thought it really would work. If you've seen that movie 300, and it's one of my favorite movies, they have that sepia tone background look, and it's really that movie is super artsy, and it really influenced me. So that's why when I saw that color pop out, I go, this is neat. I like what I'm getting. It almost looks like coffee. I did a picture one time where I used coffee as my color, and it gives you that coffee color, and it's more of a kind of goldish brown. So I'm putting in more highlights. Now I decided my lizard needed some hair. All lizards have hair, but I don't think they do. But my lizard in my world, Bob Ross, has hair. And down the right-hand corner, I'm putting the biomechanical stuff in. See all that? It's like circuits and circuit board. I'm putting in some little hairs on my little neck. And you have to do that. You have to do the hairs in different layers, because you want to start off with your light ones, and you go a little lighter, a little brighter, and I'm adding more and more hairs. I'm getting my circuit boards nice and detailed, adding more details, more highlights, and that. Okay, under his chin, I changed that, and I made it so it was no longer empty, and I put something in there. I don't know what that is. Maybe that's oil. Maybe that's gasoline. I don't know, but it's something that fills in the space. Now, if something grabbed that tube, it'd still probably be deadly. But at least now it looks more like it has a structure to it, and it's not just dangling down there. So now I'm kind of putting in some the area where I'm gonna put some veins. I wanted some veins in there. Oh, look at the yellow. See that yellow I put in there? That highlight looks really good with that color. I love the way the yellow looks with this. Like I said, I normally don't use yellow. This is the point where I need to ask you to like and subscribe and subscribe and subscribe. As I do all kinds of these things, I'm putting more into the hair. I'm thickening up that, putting more yellow in it. Now I'm adding some red because I wanted to put an accent color. Just a tiny bit of red in there for an accent color, and it connects right to the mechanical part. So please like and subscribe, because I have lots of these. If you want to learn, you can learn from me. If you just like to be entertained, I have all kinds of entertaining videos. I hope you enjoyed this one. And I'm putting some more detail into the hair, a little more detail here and there. And this was a fun one, and I do appreciate you for showing up and being part of my journey.